Hello, this is Peg with Craft Room Stories. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel, rather. Some of you may be returning, some of you may not be. Welcome anyway. Okay, so what we're doing today is fabric flips, and we are doing this because Meg at Chasing Retro is having a kind of, I don't remember what it's called, but I will post that and tag her and everything like that. I suddenly just went blank, and I'm supposed to write this stuff down before I get started, and I did not. Nevertheless, one of the things on her list of things you could make for fall, we're doing mass makes, I think, is, different kinds of mass makes. One of them is fabric flips. And so I do love a fabric flip in a journal because I love fabric, I love lace, I love trims, and this just really kind of can showcase that for you. And these are all going to be kind of similar because I just kind of got everything together, but I do like sometimes to use buttons and different things across the top. But right now, I just wanted to get it going, and I was wasting time. So what I do is I take like different fabrics that I like. That's going to be, the thing. Then I will have like a bigger piece of lace, and then I will have some smaller lace, and then I'll generally put a little trim across the top of it to kind of finish it off. That's what I like to do. To each his own. But we're just going to do it my way today, and you can like it or not like it, but it's still pretty. So do what you want. So we're going to start with purple because that's what's on the bottom, and it's my favorite color, so why not? It puts me in a very happy mood, which, I typically am anyway. But okay, so let me get all my purples going here and everything that I'm using for the purple one, and get everything else out of the way. Now, people can like or not like hot glue. I love to use hot glue, especially when I'm trying to be fast. But when I am doing lace with a lot of holes in it, like this one, I'm trying to figure out which one's going to be at the top. Probably this end, but and it doesn't have to be terribly even, but I can see that I've cut this really, sorry, as I jostle you about, I cut this one really jaggedy, and I don't want it quite that jaggedy, so I'm just going to trim that off real quick and get that out of the way. And across the bottom, just a hair. Okay, like I said, it does not have to be real even, but that's what I like to do. Okay, so we've got that, and we've got our fabric. Let's see how wide this is. I mean, this is pretty wide. Mine are not usually, my books are not more than 5.5 inches wide, so this could possibly take up the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of tear down a little piece of this if I can. This is the one I had problems with tearing it. It tears easy one direction, and then the other direction it doesn't want to. So I'm going to cut it, and then I'm just going to fray the edges. I really do like a good frayed edge on a fabric when you're using it for this. I just think it adds something. I may keep this because I could make a little bow or something with that, and that could be cute. I don't always keep a lot of little titchy pieces of stuff because it can overwhelm you really quickly, and I don't want it to overwhelm me. I've already got scraps galore here. Could make a whole journal on the scraps that I have. Okay, so I do not at all know which is the right side of this, but that one looks good to me. So I've got a little bit of Fabri-Tac that I'm going to use for the lace. And we're just going to go across the top. I'm not, well, if it comes out correctly, we are going to go across the top. Come out correctly. And also, I'm only going to show you kind of with this first one what I'm doing. It's not rocket science, really. It's, pretty basic. And then, oh, I've cut kind of, I cut kind of a big piece of this. So I'm going to cut this down because I like to vary them in lengths because that also adds interest. So we're just going to cut across that. Anything on the sides that I need to trim up later, I can do. So We're just going to go across that. Anyway, after I show you what I'm doing with the first one, and then I'm just going to make a few, I won't talk about it, but I've got a story to tell you. If you were watching the video where somebody won the drawing from my 500 subscriber video. Okay, that is so pretty. I almost don't want to do anything else to it. I had this little piece out because I thought I might use it, but I don't think I will. But, you know, that's part of it. Change your mind. Do whatever you want. Do I want that? Do I want it dangling kind of down the middle? Do I want this one? I don't think I want that one. We're going to reject that one, put that one to the next one. But this one, I think, do we want this? Because I had this little piece of rosebud trim to go. Yeah. Yep, I like that. So we are just going to go across there. Anyway, I have a story to tell you regarding my first exchange student. I think anything can be like a learning curve, really. And bless my first exchange student. I got permission from her to tell this story. That's why I hadn't told it yet. Okay. Oh, the glue is sticking to me. I need to use, I get so gluey. And I have these silicone things, paintbrush things or whatever, to do that, and I forget to do it all the time. Okay, I'm going to trim across the top here a little bit. And like I said, it doesn't have to be even, but you know, semi-even. I'm going to go ahead and just trim that up real quick. Hopefully I'm not going off camera. Now this piece I will keep because I will use this in a cluster. And I love a good cluster. Oh, that is so pretty to me. I am just loving this. Okay. So pretty. Okay, now for this last piece across the top, I hot glue these because they are a thicker thing, and you could use the Fabri-Tac, but it just takes longer. And I'm not the most patient person in the world, so we're just going to do this and go across the top. I'm probably hiding what I'm doing, but I'm not meaning to. With some hot glue. Whenever hot glue touches Fabri-Tac, I've noticed that there's kind of a reaction, and it gets foamy and interesting. Okay, we're going to have a lot of glue threads, and I'm gonna break those up as quick as I can. Ooh, y'all. I know, what? Okay. Oh, goodness sakes. Goodness sakes. Now, here's hoping I can actually tell the story while gluing, because you know I have to hold my mouth funny when I'm gluing stuff. I don't know why. Okay, but see, look at that. Okay, and then that, you know, it's loose. This one is so pretty. Oh my goodness, I love that. That's that one I found at that thrift store. And that one too, but that was a curtain. But anyway, and there's that. I love it. And this will just glue nicely. I'll hot glue this in the top of the book. And then it'll be kind of like a hidden writing space behind it, or a pretty picture behind it, or a pocket, whatever. It's fun. So, and I've never made I always just make them on the spot whenever I'm making journals. I'm really bad about having things pre-made, mostly because I always feel like things have to be matchy-matchy. I do not know why. I don't know why I'm like that at all. Okay, so now for this next one, I am mixing two fabrics in here, and the reason that I'm doing that is because this is going in the Pokey Little Puppy book, and I am using both of these fabrics in there, and I want to kind of, what do you call it? Tie them together, but I am going to trim this. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about what I'm doing because you can clearly see what I am doing. So, my Hannah, first exchange student, all the exchange students that I have had personally living in my home were from Germany. And that's not because I like Germany better than any other country. It just happens to be, I feel like that needs to go that way. No, not really. That one's upside down then. Okay, it just happens to be that the organization that I work with, their main office is in Germany. And so they have more students from there than any other country. And so I am using Fabri-Tac on this because I don't want to have too many layers of hot glue. All right, so anyway, Hannah, bless her heart, is so gung-ho to do whatever. She's just, you know, if you're working outside, she'll either be working outside with you or she'll be cleaning the house on the inside. She just takes initiative and does. I never really, I don't think, had to ask her to help with anything unless, you know, it was like I was trying to do it by myself and found that I couldn't in that kind of sense. And we were burning stuff because we have a burn barrel here. We live in the country. And in this, we burn boxes and junk mail and things like that. I don't know if I want this to be long. I'm sorry, you know, I have to pause and get my thoughts gathered. Okay. I may change my mind on this fabric. This lace. I love it, but it doesn't really go with what I'm doing. So, okay. Anyway. Oh my goodness, y'all. If I can maintain a thought in my head, it will be amazing. So, bless her heart. She was out there helping me. For some reason, we were burning stuff. I think Rob was at work, and we were trying to get it done because I was a substitute teacher back then, and she was in school, and we had the same day off. And we were trying to get it done. Usually we waited for Rob because he likes to burn stuff. He's not a pyromaniac, but he likes to be in charge of that. So usually we would wait, but we were trying to, we were trying to get this done because we were getting the house ready for Christmas. So I know this looks like a hot mess right now, but I have to explain this. The person that I am making the Pokey Little Puppy journal for, she has 3 favorite colors: cobalt blue, like a hot pink or a raspberry pink, and lime green. So I am incorporating those 3 colors in her journal. So in case you're wondering what the heck I'm doing, that is what I'm doing. Anyway, so we're out there and we've got the hose and everything, and we were burning something that was really melty and getting quite hot, and so we were watching real careful of this. And at one point I stepped on the water hose sprayer thing, and it shot water onto Hannah and onto the burn barrel at the same time. Well, when it hit the burn barrel, it hissed, you know, like crazy, because the burn barrel was, you know, really hot from having been, you know, burning stuff. And then that hit her kind of at the same time we heard the hiss. And I hadn't realized that I had stepped on it, you know. And she screamed because she thought that I was burning her with something. She thought I had thrown fire at her. Anyway, I don't know if the water was hot, if it hit the barrel and then hit her, or if it, I'm not sure at all. And anyway, it was so funny. At first, like, I was scared to death. What did I do? You know, and then she goes, "Did you burn me?" And she has a really good sense of humor. So you have to know that when she said this, she was joking, because she goes, "Did you burn me?" She goes, "I told you if you didn't want me here, I would leave." She was cracking me up because she was like, "I don't have to be here." She was silly. She wasn't really trying to, you know, say that I didn't want her here. You know, she knew I did. But anyway, it was so funny. I mean, I guess it's one of those things where you kind of had to be there, but it was funny. And she thought I had burned her. She really did think I had burned her. And when she realized it was just water, she was laughing. And when I realized I hadn't, you know, I thought something had kind of come out of the fire and landed on her. And so when I realized she was okay, then I'm dying laughing. She's dying laughing. And at least we weren't dying. You know what I mean? Just a big hot mess. And oh my goodness, it was so funny. And then, like, a whole bunch of things would happen to her. Like, one time I had taken her to Texas, and to visit a friend of mine, and also to look for a prom dress. And because it's, Dallas, Fort Worth, you got a few more options for prom dresses than, Podunk, Oklahoma. And so that's fun. Okay, I know it looks like with some wild colors, but all of these colors are going to be in the journal, so it's going to be cute. So yay. That's going to go down with or over here with the stuff I'm making for that. Anyway, so this guy almost hit us. He was getting like serious road rage. Well, that kind of stuff happens in Dallas-Fort Worth area all the time. And I would get like such anxiety driving there because it was bad enough when I was in college there so many years ago. But, now they've got even more roads and even more overpasses and even more like you can't drive that direction on that road and you don't know which way you should be going. Oh, it gives me so much anxiety. I can barely function. Anyway, so we're driving, we're trying to find the right entrance to the mall that we were going to. And so I had kind of slowed down to read the sign because I couldn't read it, terribly well. And let me move that before I burn myself, which has happened because the nature of me. Anyway, so this guy was really just on our case. And then like I'm like, look, dude, can you not see I'm not from here. I don't know where I'm going. And he was like cussing out his window. And then I was like, whatever, just get a hold of yourself, dude, because, whatever. But I was like, he needs prayer. So anyway, I'm trying to get past him. So I turn one way because he's so annoyed with me that I'm not, turning or whatever when he thinks I ought to be. And so these pieces will not be wasted. Anyway, so I go ahead and turn, and I think, well, I'm just going to make a U-turn. U-turn. So sorry, I can't concentrate. What is wrong with me? So I turn, and then I'm making a U-turn. I did it again. U-turn in the parking lot, and then this guy starts following me, and then he stops like kind of in front of me like he's going to do something. Well, it's people carry guns here in the South, and you just don't want to anger people unnecessarily. So he's all cussing, and I just gun it because I'm like, I'm not doing that. We're not not going to do that at all. What is wrong with me? This one apparently is very sticky lace. I don't know if I should put it there, but it looks so pretty. Do you think I should? I mean, we're going to have the rosebuds across. Oop. Or should it just be that? That looks really pretty like that. I think I won't do this one. Oh, it's connecting to everything Anyway, so we thought we were going to die there. And all the way to that trip, then spring break, which was like the month after that, we were driving down to Tennessee to see my sister. She lives down by Chattanooga. And what am I doing? Y'all, what am I doing? Pardon me. Well, because this is what happens when I try to talk and craft at the same time. Just trauma all the time. So we're going down there. And I swear to you, so many people cut us off and like practically ran us off the road. We thought for sure we were going to die like so many times. And so she was like, I said, please, please, please don't tell your family and friends when you get back home that your host mom tried to kill you while you were here. And she had such a good sense of humor when she was here. She just laughed about all of it. And I'm so thankful that our very first girl was so easygoing and had a good sense of humor and didn't like hold it against me. She still loves me. I told her when I was asking if I could tell this story, I said, then what's going to happen is I'm going to get famous. And when I'm famous, You can say, that's my mom in Oklahoma, my Oklahoma mom. She just laughed at me again. She's like, oh. I know she's like, she is such a dork. But anyway, that's okay. So that doesn't have as many layers, but doesn't have to have a lot of layers. But I still think that is so delicate and pretty. Eek, just like it is. Yummy! And then we have one more. Okay, I'm using this hat fabric that I just showed, or that, oh, it's upside down. It's pretty on that side too, actually, but it's a little more vibrant there. Anyway, I don't know if you will have seen it or if it goes up after this. I think it after this, I can't remember. But anyway, I'm trying to think. I know there are more stories with her. Oh, she was deathly afraid of spiders. You've got to hear this. Okay, so we live in Oklahoma. I've told you there are critters here, and nature's against me, so they're going to be after me. It's just going to happen. They're going to be, if they're not after me, they're just near me, you know, in my view, and I don't want them. I don't like them. I'm not scared of spiders, but if they're bigger than something I can step on, I really, really do not want them. I don't want them. I don't want them with me. I don't. And so, I don't know. Is that right or is that right? I think that's right. Anyway, okay. So I'm digressing a lot. But, okay, so like she'd only been here like a weekend or possibly 2 weekends. I think maybe 2. And then my husband and I were very involved in youth ministries at our church. And we were going to a youth leaders retreat up in a campground near, is our church camp, near Hot Springs, Arkansas. Beautiful, beautiful place. If you ever get to go to Hot Springs, I highly recommend it. Lake Ouachita is my favorite, and it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous there. When we drive down the mountain into the camp, I immediately feel peace. Just immediately. I don't know what about it. It just, oh, I love it. It is peace. I told my husband, when I die, I want you to cremate me and scatter my ashes in Lake Ouachita. I don't know if he'll do that, but that's what I said I want. So, I'm going to do, I think, some, even though that's a pretty, pretty lace, I think I also would like to do some eyelet with this. I can just see that happening. Yeah, okay, so it is kind of, this church camp is kind of in the woods. And so there's spiders and critters of all kinds. You just have to watch yourself, you know, you just have to watch out. And so I told her that, but she is afraid of spiders, like to the extreme. To the extreme. She just does not, she can't do spiders at all. I don't know which way that goes either. What is wrong with me? I think that. Anyway, there's a lot of spiders at this church camp, and like just when we first are walking into the place where we were going to stay in the lodge, you know, there was spiders, and she was like, no, I can't go in there at all. And so I was like, it's okay, they're everywhere, but they don't get on you, and they eat all the other critters that we don't like as well. So she tried to be a good sport. She really, really did, and it was funny. Maybe I want to use this one on here. I don't know. Do I want that one down the middle? Maybe that looks kind of pretty, don't you think? Maybe just a little snippet of it. Anyway, so huge spider webs everywhere. Then, okay, so this is kind of about my husband, but it wigged poor little Hannah out too. Okay, so we were going into, they were having a meeting in the cafeteria, and off the cafeteria is this huge, like deck overlooking the lake. And it is so, so beautiful. I mean, just really gorgeous. And we walked out there, and other people had been out there, and there was another area that you could kind of come back into. There were steps down, okay, and then there was another area where you could come back in. Seriously, y'all, where you could come back in a ramp, you know. And I think my husband was already starting to have kind of some issues with his back, so he didn't want to do the steps, so he took the ramp. Well, we had already made it inside because he was going on kind of around to get to the ramp. Now, y'all, thought I would do this blue across there, even though that's pink, because there is a pretty blue in the fabric itself. So I'm going to do that. Anyway, he comes back in and he's doing he's like waving his arms around and he's doing some kind of like odd dance. And I know he doesn't have, you know, some sort of weird like disease or, you know, anything like that where he might have an episode. And so we're all, and Hannah and I are just looking at him like, what is wrong? You know, and I said, what happened to you? I mean, he is looking like he is doing the river dance, you know, or something. And he said, I guess I'm the first one to take the ramp today, or since we've been here. And I was like, oh my goodness, you ran into spider webs, didn't you? And he goes, so many. He was seriously traumatized. And Hannah, she could not handle it. She goes, huh? You know, she just like, if she would see a spider, she would, huh? You know, she could not do it. We ended up having to go back there again, like in the next month or two or something, because I was teaching a class then for the teen leadership. And she was like, I don't want to go. I don't mean to be mean, but I don't want to go. There's just too many spiders. Bless her heart. She's so precious. But she went through a lot here. She just went through a lot. Okay, so that one's different, but I kind of like it. It's got a mix of colors, but so does the fabric, and so that's fun. I feel like that is really kind of off, and I'm going to have to trim that because that's going to bug me. It was like starting to look triangular. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so we have made, let's see, I've gone on. I know I have just talked up a storm. Hannah's going to watch this and go, yep, that's her. She talks way too much. Okay, so let's see what we've made. We've got this gorgeous purple one. Obviously, that's the one I'm drawn to. A beautiful, beautiful pink one. This multicolored fun one. And another multicolor, but predominantly cobalt blue. Fabric flips. Okay, y'all. Make these. Have fun. This is hosted by Meg at Chasing Retro, and I will link her channel and the thing that she's got going on with Mass Makes. Okay, y'all. Bye. Hugs.